What is up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. We are down to the final two in the cigar smoking pastor podcaster bracket. Your favorite cigar toting pastor slash podcaster, sponsored by 1689 Cigar. Guys, it was a hard fought battle, but we have the final two. It is down to Keith Foskey and C.R. Wiley. For the first time ever, too, their percentages in both their brackets matched. So Keith Foskey in the final four, Keith Foskey was going up against Matthew Everhard. Keith Foskey won that 56% of the vote to 44% of the vote. And then C.R. Wiley was going up against Joe Rigney, and C.R. Wiley won his bracket 56 to 44. Now, here's what's interesting. In that final four, those two brackets, the Keith Foskey, Matthew Everhard bracket garnered over 2,200 votes, while the C.R. Wiley, Joe Rigney bracket garnered over 840 votes. That is a big difference, 2,200 votes to 840 votes. So here's the thing. We got Keith Foskey, your Calvinist, going up against C.R. Wiley. And, man, if you don't, it looks like Keith Foskey, if he can keep the momentum going, he's going to be the favorite, unless some of the Matthew Everhard guys switch over and vote for C.R. Wiley. Now, here's the interesting thing. Keith Foskey, Baptist, C.R. Wiley, Presbyterian. So how do we set this up? Do we set this up as a Baptist versus Presbyterian bracket in the finals? Now, we started with 64 different pastors and podcasters from all different denominations. And lo and behold, in the providence of God, we get down to the final two, and it's Baptist versus Presbyterian. So although Keith Foskey, I think, is the favorite right now, if this was Vegas betting odds, and Keith Foskey would probably be the favorite, you might see Matthew Everhard's group of Presbyterians, because Matthew Everhard is Presbyterian, switch over and vote for C.R. Wiley just on denominational lines alone. As you know, guys, too, the link for this live stream is on our Twitter handle. You can jump on, and if you voted, you're more than welcome to jump on the live stream and comment. You can find that at Real DMW Podcast. It's right at the top of our feed. Feel free to jump on there, and I'll let you in the room. And if you voted, you can give your opinion, kind of talk about the bracket, how you voted through them. Like I said, we started out with 64, then obviously we went down to 32, then we went down to 16, then 8, then 4, just like a standard bracket. And we are down to the final two, Keith Foskey and C.R. Wiley. I'll tell you this. C.R. Wiley did a few posts on Facebook, just a few likes on Twitter X, and he's gotten all the way down to the final two. Keith Foskey has done a little more lobbying. He is known for his funny memes, his funny videos. He jumped on a live stream yesterday where he was at Epcot Center celebrating his 25th anniversary, and I believe one of his children's birthdays, and still had time for 3 or 4 minutes on the live stream to jump on with Matthew Everhard. So he's a man of the people. He knows how to rally votes. That's why I'm saying he's probably the favorite going into this. But really what it comes down to, and I don't know if we want to make it denominational, but we have a Reformed Baptist versus a Reformed Presbyterian in the finals. Keith Foskey, the Baptist, C.R. Wiley, the Presbyterian. And obviously C.R. Wiley, very well known in his own right, writer, author, speaker, scholar, host of the Theology Podcast, which is a very popular podcast. Obviously, Keith Foskey, pastor as well, and host of Your Calvinist with Keith Foskey. It's pretty crazy, too, because we did this as a pastor slash podcaster bracket, and both of the finalists, Keith Foskey and C.R. Wiley, are both pastors and podcasters. So we got the best of both worlds. 2,200 votes in the Keith Foskey, Matthew Everhard bracket, with Keith Foskey winning 56% of those votes, Matthew getting 44%. And then 840 votes in the C.R. Wiley versus Joe Rigney bracket, with C.R. Wiley getting 56% and Joe Rigney getting 44%. So I just have to give a shout out to Joe Rigney too. Did absolutely no posting, reposting, nothing. He's been busy all week and made it down to the final four. So Joe Rigney, shout out to you for, if there was a participation trophy in this bracket, you'd probably get it. I don't think you'd want it, knowing you, but we'd give you the I don't know, the the best try award, because man, no retweets, no videos, no memes, no hey, go vote for me, and still made it to the final four. So good for you. But here we are. Right after this live stream, we're gonna do a 24-hour vote on Twitter. X. I keep calling it Twitter, but it's just because for 10 years I called it Twitter. I'm trying to get out of the habit. But X. And we're going to go right to the final two. Keith Foskey versus C.R. Wiley. Just like all the other votes, 24 hours. You can only vote at Real DMW Podcast on our Twitter X page. Those will go up and you can start voting. Once again, this live stream is open. If you click the link in our feed at Real DMW Podcast, you can jump on if you just want to talk about the bracket or how you voted or who you see winning. You're more than welcome to jump on. We'll add you. Looks like we've got about 80 people watching right now, but if anyone does want to jump on, you're more than welcome to, like I said. So here we are. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun bracket. I do the Reformed podcast bracket every March. That one is very popular. Chance from 1689 Cigar said, would you want to do something with cigars? And I said, yeah, absolutely. It'd be fun. 1689 Cigar, two things. One, whoever wins this is getting a 1-year premium membership to 1689 Cigars that gives them a few cigars each month. It's valued at $1,200 retail. Two, you, the voter, wins in this because all their sticks until tomorrow, when this bracket closes, are marked down to $10. They've got $15, $18, $22 sticks, all $10. So if you're a cigar smoker, go to 1689cigar.com and check out all of their cigars that are on sale right now. $10. That's it. And you get some premium sticks there for $10, guys. That's way less than retail. So, started with 64. Look at when Keith Foskey beat Doug Wilson in round two. I went, oh, this might be Keith Foskey's bracket. He has made the cigar popular. Now there's rumors floating around. So, with all the Twitter stuff going on right now, it seems like, especially within the Christian community, we have a new scandal every week, a new thing that we're picking on someone about. You're this, you're that, you said that. This is the bracket scandal. And I have not been able to confirm this. Maybe Keith Foskey can speak to this. There are some in the camp that have said Keith Foskey only uses a cigar in his denominational videos and never lights it. And then I've had some people say, no, we've seen Keith Foskey actually light a cigar. Then there's others that said he lit it, but he didn't actually puff off of it. And there's a whole undercurrent here going, could a guy who possibly has never smoked a cigar win a cigar smoking bracket? To where C.R. Wiley, I believe I've seen him. Maybe I have. Oh, I don't know. I thought I maybe at Fight Laugh Feast, I seen him smoke a cigar at the after party, but I think he does smoke cigars too. So, I mean, there's some controversy within the bracket too. Like, some people getting mad at me too. How could you put someone in a bracket who maybe hasn't even smoked a cigar? But I have heard claims that he has. Now, I said cigar toting, and we have seen Keith Foskey's video of him representing Presbyterians with a cigar in his mouth, unlit. His videos have gotten millions of views on TikTok and YouTube. So he has done a lot for the cigar smoking pastor, albeit maybe a character. But I don't know. I would say he belongs in the bracket, and it's too late now anyway. He's down to the final two. Look at, if you wanted Keith out of this, you just vote against him. But there's more people that wanted him in than out because he is in the final two. Not that I'm saying he doesn't belong there. He obviously belongs there. But Keith Foskey versus C.R. Wiley, both have been on the podcast. You know what I'll do too? I will link up our YouTube video of the last time both of those have been on the podcast. I think C.R. Wiley's a while ago, about a year ago. Keith, maybe about 8 months ago. But you guys can just check it out. If you're not familiar with any of those guys, which I think you would be if you're voting for them, but you're more than welcome to check out our episode when we had both those guys on. You know, it's funny when you're doing a live stream and I have the camera up here and I have my computer kind of over here. I find myself looking at myself, even if there's no one else on here. Why do I do that? I should be looking this way at you watching. But yeah, comment on the live stream. Like I said, once again, if you want to jump on the live stream right now, we've just got a few more minutes until we go to the final two. Feel free to jump in, give us your thoughts on how you like the bracket, who you voted for, who you saw going. We have Luke commenting saying Keith Foskey is going to win it all. Luke, look at that's the kind of consensus. Everyone's saying he's the guy to beat. I mean, C.R. Wiley, with everything that he's done, his popularity in his podcast, as a pastor, as a speaker, as a lecturer, as a scholar, he's the underdog. You know, I never would have thought it. Frankly, in that bracket, Matthew Everhard yesterday said the underside of the bracket, you know, I think he was kind of joking and said the underside of the bracket was easy. There's no names down there, you know, and I think he was saying it facetiously. But C.R. Wiley had to get past guys like Chocolate Knox, Will Spencer of Ren of Men, Glenn Sunshine, his co-host, William Wolf. I mean, David Bonson, he had to get past, Luke Pearson of Apologia. I mean, there was some Jared Longshore. I mean, there was some guy, Eric Kahn from Haunted Cosmos. I mean, he had to get past some guys in a bracket that beat some of those guys. So by no means was the bottom half of the bracket an easy run. I think both of these guys deserve to be there, both Keith Foskey and C.R. Wiley in the final two. They both had some guys to beat. Keith Foskey had to beat Doug Wilson, TJ Sumter. He had to beat Brian from Haunted Cosmos, A.D. Robles, Matthew Everhard, obviously. Joel Webbin was in his top side of the bracket. I mean, these were some powerhouses as well that Keith Foskey had to get to. Now, not personally, he had to beat guys who beat them. But, I mean, just Keith Foskey's personal bracket went Marcus Pittman, who conceded, and then Keith had to beat Doug Wilson, which he thoroughly beat 56-44. Then Keith had to beat TJ Sumter, another Moscow powerhouse in the Moscow mood out there. He beat TJ Sumter 70% to 30%. Then he had to go up against Dusty Devers. Guys, Dusty Devers his popularity is not only through the roof, but boy, does he have a supportive fan base. And Keith Foskey took care of him 55 to 45%. And then had to go up against Matthew Everhart, who doesn't have as large of a following on Twitter as Keith, but his YouTube following is just insane. Hundreds of thousands of likes, hundreds of thousands of, shares and followers and all that. But Keith Foskey took care of him 56 to 44% and now is in the finals. C.R. Wiley took the route of, let's see, he went up against, who did he go up against? He went up against Brandon Scaff. So right off the bat, he's got a pretty popular guy. Beat him 81 to 19%. So thoroughly took care of him. Then went up against Eric Kahn of Haunted Cosmos. Beat Eric 59% to 41%. Then went up against Jared Longshore. Once again, a guy out in Moscow that has his own following and pretty popular. Beat Jared Longshore 75 to 25%. Then J. Chase Davis of Foolproof Theology handled him 69 to 31%, and then had to go up against Joe Rigney and beat him 56 to 44%, bringing us to the final two. I'm not going to belabor this anymore, guys. We are at the final two. So vote for your favorite. We've got Keith Foskey, the Baptist, versus C.R. Wiley, the Presbyterian. I'm not trying to make this a denominational thing, but if you are going to vote down denominational lines and you're in the Reformed community, and this wasn't only open to Reform, but this is where we've gotten to. We've got a Reformed Baptist and a Reformed Presbyterian. You might want to, I don't know. You could vote along those lines, or you could vote along, hey, I just like this guy the most, or hey, I think this guy should win, or hey, I'm going to vote for the guy that I think represents the bracket the best, the Cigar Toting Pastor podcaster. Here we go. We're probably going to see thousands of votes cast in the last 24 hours. After I get off this live stream, I will post it and you guys will start voting. And tomorrow around noon on Eastern Standard Time, I'm on the East Coast, Midwest. Around that time, we will be announcing the winner. Keith Foskey, Reformed Baptist versus C.R. Wiley, Reformed Presbyterian. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. I have no problem Keith winning because he still does great work for the kingdom. That's Bearded Stogie. So Bearded Stogie on Twitter has Stogie in his name and says, I have no problem Keith winning because he still does great work for the kingdom. That's, hey, look at that could be your attitude and you're going to vote for him because of that. You could also say, look at, we have a contingency of people that were arguing and saying, and look at, I don't know if I subscribed to this, but they said, can a Baptist truly call themselves reformed in the reformed sense of the word? So I'm going to vote C.R. Wiley because you can't have a reformed Baptist. Look at, I'm not here to start trouble, guys. You know, well, maybe I am a little bit. I love seeing the memes and the talk and the posts and the videos, and we try to keep it friendly here. There's so much toxic things on Twitter X right now, especially within the Reformed community, the Christian community, and in general, even in the secular realm. But I'm just talking in our little corner of Christian Twitter. So many people just calling each other out for secondary issues, for dumb stuff that I don't want to say dumb stuff, but really just kind of intersectionality basically has woven its way into the Reformed camp as well and the Christian camp, to where you have to be 100% a purist on this little sliver of an ideology or doctrine, and everything else gets thrown out. And they're not Orthodox views. They're not Orthodox Christianity. They're not primary doctrinal issues. And it's just sad because I think as long as we agree on Orthodox Christianity, there's some secondary issues we can disagree on, and we can still have fun in a bracket like this. Look, we're not changing the world with this bracket, but at least we are trying to add a little, I don't know, a little fun to the world and voting for our guy. And we had someone like Chance, who owner of 1689 Cigars, was so gracious to go, hey, look, I'm going to give away to the winner a $1,200 premium membership for a year. And I'm going to mark down all my sticks to $10, all the cigars, $10 on 1689cigar.com right now. Go check it out. You, the voter, wins on that, by the way. You know, when you can get a $22 stick for $10, just because we're doing a bracket, that's a win for the voter. So go over to 1689 Cigar, follow them on Twitter, go check them out. You can just Google 1689 Cigar. All their stuff comes up, especially their website. All their sticks are on sale for $10. So guys, and feel free to follow us. DMWpodcast.com is where you can find out more about us. You can check out our snarky merch. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts that we have there right now that we created. How about you shut up and let that be your wisdom? Job 13:5. You know, sometimes you just got to quote scripture to the pagans, guys. And sometimes you shutting up, me shutting up, and letting that be our wisdom. Yeah, that is the right thing to do. Stop talking, right? So there you go. All right, we're going to jump off here. We are now, almost 18, 19 minutes into this live stream. No one jumped on. I'm surprised. We got some comments here, and we got 180 people watching, but no one jumped on. That's fine. Some people don't like to get on a live stream and talk off the top of their head and, kind of go rogue. I do enjoy that. But here we go. As soon as we stop this live stream, we're going to Keith Foskey versus C.R. Wiley for the final. Guys, you can only vote at Real DMW Podcast on Twitter X. And hey, give us a follow. Doesn't hurt. Check us out at dmwpodcast.com. Check out the podcast that we do every week, dropping every Wednesday. Little shameless self-promotion here. We have Craig Sawyer on right now is the current episode. He is a Navy SEAL, a sniper, tactical combat trainer, History TV. He's been featured on that show for 9 seasons. I mean, the guy, and we got into some crazy government stuff that the government's doing that he kind of was made aware of as a Navy SEAL sniper and tactical advisor. So go check it out. You can find Dead Men Walking Podcast anywhere you get your pods. You can check us out on YouTube, which we just dumped the full episodes there. I don't do a lot of editing there, so don't have quite as much viewership on YouTube, but our audio on podcasts is very popular, so go check us out there. Bearded Stogie says, great job. Thank you, Bearded Stogie, for the compliment. We also like constructive criticism criticism as well, excuse me. We had a guy message us and just say, hey, I'm 16. I've been listening to Timothy Brindle. Can you have him on the podcast? So we got him on the podcast and we talked about his album. I've had people say, hey, should you've had that person on, when we had Michael Brown on, a lot of people didn't like that. He doesn't believe in this or he believes that. And look, at the end of the day, we bring people on that we even have differences with on the podcast and we discuss it. So here we go. I'm ending the live stream and we're going to the final two. Keith Foskey, C.R. Wiley. Guys, a big thank you to all the people voting. This isn't possible without you. Sharing, retweeting, voting makes it fun. Here we go. Final two. The Reformed Baptist, Keith Foskey, versus the Reformed Presbyterian, C.R. Wiley. See you in the voting booth.